We put the event on hold, or the finals on hold. We will not have those finals here today. We've been standing by for the official update. Now joined by our commissioner, Kieran Perreault. Kieran, first off, hats off to the Water Patrol and what they did here today.
Yeah, that was an incredible effort. They were really there as fast as possible. They were on the scene and they really kind of controlled what was happening. It was really fortunate, obviously, that Mick wasn't injured initially, but if he had been, they would have been there super quick. They do an amazing job.
I was just going to say, we actually went around to Boneyards, and when there's a nice sand beach where you can come in really close. There was an ambulance already waiting there. So, literally the response time was as quick and as possible. If there was any injuries, I'm sure it would have been taken care of as quick as possible.
Yeah, and they train for that. Coming into this event, we have a plan, medical safety evacuation plan, not just for an attack like that, for any situation that's really dramatic for injured surfers. They really followed that to a T, and that outcome was incredible.
Kieran, you've been around in this sport for a long time, former championship tour competitor yourself. Have you ever seen a situation like this before in the history of our sport?
No, this is the first time. A competitor has been knocked off his board or attacked in any way by a shark. There's been sightings in heats before, but this is the first time that anything dramatic like that has happened.
And as we've heard from quite a few of the surfers, including Kelly Slater, on what they thought took place here today. What was your first mindset when you saw it going down?
Just total shock, I think. Everyone really was just scrambling. It was an incredible effort, I guess, on all parts. Everyone came together like a team, and that's what we're here for—a well-oiled machine, and to do the best. Watching Julian paddle towards Mick, one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. Just so heroic. Put his life at risk. He knew that Mick was in an extreme amount of danger, and you could see the emotion in his interview. I think everyone just is hugely emotionally affected right now, and it'll stick with us for a long time.
Agreed. And we keep shouting out the Water Patrol. You bring it up, and we've talked about it a little bit, but you can't focus on it. We can't give him too many props. What he did today, Julian Wilson, in a circumstance like that, he's an absolute legend. Let's look back at that footage one more time, Kieran, because I was watching it live here with Ross Williams, and when this situation right here took place, I immediately started screaming to make sure that people were reacting to it, and by that time the Water Patrol was already on it.
Yeah. Just totally dramatic scenes. It's something you've never seen. We've never seen in the sport. It's something that every event has a plan for. You never really want to see it put into place, and that plan come into action, because it's the last thing that we want to see happen to our athletes. But we're in the ocean. It's a pretty wild environment down here, and the athletes are aware of that. They know the dangers. It's always in the back of your mind, but it's not something that when you're competing at that top level and you're so focused. This would have been the furthest thing from Mick and Julian's minds when they were sitting in the water right there. It was just such a shock, I guess, for everyone.
We surfed in between the semi and the final, and it was we were just literally high-fiving because it was such a beautiful day, and the waves were going off.
Yeah. I think it'll still go down in history as one of the more incredible days we've seen in competitive surfing for Jeffreys Bay. Some phenomenal surfing, but certainly what a dramatic end, and something that I think everyone can be grateful that it didn't turn out any worse.
You spoke to quite a few of the athletes. Obviously, you spoke to Julian and as well to Mick. What's the consensus like? I referenced it earlier when Ross Williams was on here. A brotherhood. Surfing is a brotherin, and to see everyone come together today around Mick in a situation like that, just it was such a special time, and knowing that our brother was okay.
Yeah, 100%. Everyone knows we're here to crown world champions. That's what we do. That's their passion. That's their life. But at the end of the day, for it's their safety, and to see the emotion that goes around, everyone coming together and just celebrating that Mick came out of that okay. Everyone came out of that okay was something great to see, and it just makes me proud to be a part of the World Surf League and this tour.
Well, it was, you mentioned it there, but when things like this happen, like, a circumstance like that, it really does put the whole competitive side of things into perspective. Obviously world titles are great, all the prize money is one thing, but when something like this happens, it really puts it into perspective how little things are when it comes down to life.
Certainly, and I think, perspective is a great thing. At times, and it definitely shocks your world. It shocked Mick and Julian, and everyone here was on the beach, and anyone watching live. people would have been freaking out, absolutely just concerned for Mick and his safety, and that goes around the world. That's something that everybody feels, not just here on the beach, but connected, watching through our broadcasts. So we're so fortunate. I mean, I don't think anyone realises right now how fortunate that outcome was, and Mick's in a lot of shock. Julian's in a lot of shock. I think they'll wake up
You're
tomorrow
in
and be
shock,
pretty
I'm
happy.
in shock. We're all in shock.
Yep.
Even you at home.
Well, Kieran, as we look back now, we put the event on hold here today. We will not have those finals. Julian Wilson did have a score on the board. Mick had yet to catch one. There's been a lot of speculation on will we run the finals? Will we divide the money? Will we divide the points? What's the latest?
So yeah, we met with them briefly when they first got back to the site. There was a lot of emotion, a lot of shock. We let them know officially that we wouldn't be sending them back out there today, obviously. Unsafe. Even 30 minutes later, that shark was spotted again, just further down the lineup a little. And so not safe to send them back out. We wanted to just have a look at the rules, make sure that we really tick the boxes when it came to what this scenario means. It's never happened before, so something that it's unique. And then, concern over what we do from here. This is the last day of our event window. Obviously, if everyone was confident about the outcome, we would be able to run a final possibly in the next day or two, but we're not comfortable with that. And I don't think Mick or Julian are, so the official outcome is that we won't be completing the final. We'll leave it as it is, and those surfers will both receive second place points, and they'll split their collective prize money remaining.
And what was the response when you had that conversation with Mick and Julian? Were they both obviously happy not to be in the water today, but with that, knowing that they're going to divide the money and the points?
I think it probably was the last thing from their mind. I think they were just so relieved to be amongst their friends, which is, that was what it was. They came back to the event site and everyone rallied. Joel came, he was watching at his house, he turned up in 5 minutes. Ace was here. A lot of the friends of both of those surfers were here just to celebrate that they were on shore safely. I think both of them weren't thinking about the points or the prize money at all, and they were just happy for us to have a conversation with them and then to make an official decision, and I think they're both happy with that outcome.
Well, we know that they have some time to regroup. The next event's coming up August 14th at the Billabong Pro, Tahiti. I mean, you're a former championship tour competitor. How hard is this going to be, do you think, for Mick Fanning to get this out of his mind going into that next event?
I think it's going to be incredibly hard. I mean, in some ways it's great that we're going to Tahiti. It's so opposite to here. Everybody loves Jeffreys Bay. We come here not just for the surf, but for the culture and the people and what this place means to everybody. That may take some time to just for him especially to reconnect. He'll need some time at home, I think, with his friends and family and just some time to process what's just happened. And so he's fortunate he has a few weeks. We're going to a place that's also stunning, and the next event is something that everyone will be excited for at that time. But this is a pretty pivotal moment for professional surfing, and I'm glad and really proud of the way it was handled, and I think the outcome was we're all relieved, obviously.
Absolutely. Well, let's look at the official WSL update statement now from what the situation was that took place today. Here, an unfortunate circumstance with the shark attack. We are incredibly grateful that no one was seriously injured today. Mick's composure and quick acting in the face of a terrifying situation was nothing short of heroic, and the rapid response of our water safety patrol was commendable. They are truly world class at what they do. The safety of our athletes is a priority for the WSL, and after discussions with both finalists, we have decided to cancel the remainder of the competition here at the J-Bay Open. We appreciate the ongoing support we have here in South Africa, and once again want to express our gratitude to the water safety team today. And again, we are very happy to announce that Mick Fanning was not injured here today with this shark attack. Hats off once again to the Water Patrol as well as Julian Wilson to paddle into the face of a shark like that, Peter Mel. I mean, we all wonder what would happen in a situation like that. Well, today he was tested and he did it. KP, final words from you before we close out here.
Yeah, I think just to reiterate what our statement was, I mean, heartfelt gratitude and I'm sure from Mick and Julian and everyone else on site to the water safety team and their response to the situation. They obviously can't be thanked enough. It's those situations that they do train for, and we're so fortunate to have that level of training and expertise at our events. And that I'm glad and I'm proud of the fact that we provide that, because in those situations, if that wasn't there and we didn't have that response time, it could have been a lot worse.
our Commissioner Karen Perot. Hats off to you and your entire staff at the WSL for how the situation was handled here today. An unfortunate circumstance, a shark attack in the finals with Julian Wilson and Mick Fanning. We will call off this event. It is a wrap. Both of those surfers will take an equal second moving into the next stop. Stop number 7 in Tahiti, the Billabong Pro, coming up on August 14th. Stay tuned to the WorldSurfLeague.com for more information on the circumstance here today. And we'll leave it with you guys. Unfortunate circumstances here today, but we're blessed and happy that everyone is okay.